Once the spacesuit turned white, it meant that death was looming inside his body. The boy immediately opened his palm to check. Sure enough, a leech was latched onto the back of his hand. By the time he shook it off with force, the wound had already started turning black. Then his face began to swell, and his vision grew blurry. He hurriedly called for his father's help, but his father didn't panic. He instructed the boy to grab the first aid kit, and then pulled out a serum for injection, under his father's guidance. The boy finally got through the crisis. He didn't know how much time had passed, but eventually, he woke up. Seeing that only 2 bottles of breathing fluid remained, he went to a cliff, planning to use the waterfall to reach his destination quickly. But his father disagreed. He ordered his son to turn back. The boy, however, thought his father was cowardly. Without hesitation, he turned and jumped. But in the next moment, an eagle appeared overhead. Realizing he had become prey, the boy dived to escape the eagle's attack, then turned again and plunged into the waterfall. Still, he had underestimated the eagle's hunting skill. When the boy woke up again, he found himself trapped in the eagle's nest. A tiger was stealing the eagle's chicks. He used his weapon to take down the tiger, but unexpectedly, there was another one. At the critical moment, the eagle swooped in and carried the tiger away. Although the tiger was gone, the chicks had already died. The eagle was heartbroken. The boy seized the opportunity to leave. He wanted to contact his father, only to find that the communicator was broken. From now on, he had to rely on himself. Before long, he found another half of the wreckage. He quickly refilled his breathing fluid and equipment, and then located the signal transmitter. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't send a signal. He also discovered that the cage holding the monsters had been destroyed. He looked toward the distant volcano. Maybe if he climbed higher, the signal could go through. So he set off toward the volcano again. He had just reached the summit, ready to send the signal, when a monster dragged him to the ground. The monster didn't eat him immediately. Instead, it threw him far away. The monster approached again. In that urgent moment, he remembered his father's words. The boy overcame his fear. At this point, the monster seemed blind. It crawled over him, without noticing his presence. Finally, it was the boy's turn to fight back. He jumped up with all his strength, using a rock, and drove his knife into the monster's body. The monster thrashed violently, moving toward the cliff. The boy stabbed it 2 more times. The monster was finally killed. He picked up the transmitter, and shot a dazzling beam of light into outer space.